And let me play. Well, hello. So I am super excited to walk you guys through. I gotta get out of here for 2 seconds. It's gonna go higher. Awesome. To walk you guys through what Diamond Club is. I know many of you guys already know what Diamond Club is. I know there are some of you who are going to be watching this recording who have no idea what Diamond Club is. So I wanted to give you a bit of a lowdown on Diamond Club, what exactly it is, why people do it, why you hear so much about it, and walk you through how to find stats that you're required to have for Diamond Club, and then answer any questions. So if you're watching the recording of this and you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I was gonna say participated in Diamond Club a little over a year and a half ago, and it was really, you're gonna see in a second, it completely changed the trajectory of my business. And it's not to say that I couldn't have hit Diamond without Diamond Club. However, Diamond Club was just that accelerator. Diamond Club for me was what I needed to push me past my boundaries. So to push me a little bit harder than I ever really thought I could push myself. So for those of you who don't know me and are watching this recording, my name is Brittany McLean. I am a doTERRA Diamond, and I love Diamond Club. I know a lot of people who talk very negatively about it, and so I wanted to give you guys basically this lowdown and just explain to you that Diamond Club can be done in your own way, and Diamond Club can be done super simply. So my hope is that at the end of this, Diamond Club is something that you want to participate in. It's not to say you have to do Diamond Club to be a diamond one day. However, the stat is that 90% of doTERRA diamonds, this is really big in the States, participated in Diamond Club. So not necessary, and I'm the only diamond on the Geralyn's team that hit diamond because of Diamond Club. So it's not to say that you have to do it, but it's fun. I actually really thoroughly enjoyed it. So what is Diamond Club? So Diamond Club is the opportunity for wellness advocates to ignite their business. This is from them. So what it says, it helps to build momentum through events. So the purpose of Diamond Club is to help wellness advocates reach Diamond by establishing new leaders and sales teams outside of their local area while still continuing to support those that are local to them. So what doTERRA does is it's a travel reimbursement program. So it's literally exactly what you're doing now. It's no different. I often hear that people talking smack about Diamond Club, and that they slept in their car on the side of a highway, and like they just stayed in hotels all the time. And they didn't see their family, and their kids wanted to disown them and all this stuff. And I'm like, what? This is crazy. Because Diamond Club is really no different than how we build our businesses all the time, right? I would say I probably teach approximately 6 classes a month anyways, right? Whether that's my classes or someone else on my team's classes. So it's really no different. But the nice thing that doTERRA does is they offer you this special enrollment incentive. So every month that you participate in Diamond Club, you're offered the promotions that doTERRA has running, as well as an extra one. So during months in the summer or in the spring when doTERRA does like some wicked freebies, like Immortelle, or they've got they did like a summer trio blend one summer. It's kind of cool because you get to offer the 3 oils or 2 oils or 1 oil that doTERRA has. And then doTERRA will give you an oil on top of that to incentivize somebody to enroll. So it's kind of fun. And it's not to say that this is something that we couldn't do on a regular basis, right? Like, who's to say that I couldn't go out and buy 100 grapefruits and incentivize you guys with grapefruit? It's just kind of fun to have that friendly competition through Diamond Club, right? Because there's a standings, there's ratings. It's kind of fun to see your name pop up. So Canadian Diamond Club qualifications, if you're from the States, I think they're a little bit further, the distances. In Canada, they've tightened up the distances a little bit, which is kind of nice. But you need at least one Diamond Club sponsor. And typically this is what I say you do. When it comes time for you to do Diamond Club, you go into your back office and you click on upline sponsors, I think it is. It's under team. And you can see your 3 closest uplines. If your 3 closest uplines are platinum or above, reach out to them or add their name to the sponsor list. So typically what I do, and this is how I've done it when I did Diamond Club, Geraldine was my sponsor, Ange Peters was my sponsor, and Julie Hinton, who was above Ange, was my sponsor. So you'll see sometimes there's multiple people in between if you're farther down in someone's organization. But those would be like your bigger people that you would reach out to. So if you're on my team, my name would be in there as a sponsor. Absolutely. I will sponsor anybody and everybody who wants to participate in Diamond Club. And basically what that sponsor is required to do is they pay a maximum of 50% of your travel. So if you have 3 sponsors, it's kind of nice because that travel is then separated between those multiple sponsors. So premier or higher in your qualification month. doTERRA in Canada has pushed this, so premiers can participate. In the past, it was strictly for silvers, and premiers needed exceptions. But I would say like a pretty good premier. Somebody who has a decent team, somebody who meets these qualifications. Because if you're not meeting these qualifications and you're kind of pushing for them, sometimes it can be a little bit more difficult. So you need to have you need to enroll 3 people with 100 PV orders in your qualification month. So for those of you who are participating or want to participate in January is the start month, you need to have 3 enrollments over 100 PV this month. That's nothing, right? We should be enrolling that typically month to month anyways. 100 PV especially is simple this month because of frankincense. On top of that, you need to have a total of 10 wellness advocates or wholesale customers who place a 100 PV LRP order on or before the last day of the qualification month, aka December or June, if you're going to do it in the fall. So of these 10, 5 must be local. So 5 must be within 80 kilometers of your home. And then 5 must be from one out of area location. Okay? Or 80 kilometers or more away from your home. When I participated, this was 150 kilometers. And so a distance class for me was distance. However, now with these changes, for instance, we live in Breslau and Oakville. So for you, Carrie, this is awesome. For me, Oakville now would be considered a out of area location, which is amazing, right? Because for us to go from here to Oakville is an hour. But it fits under the 80 kilometers. So 5 must be local, 5 within your local area. So if you're in Baden, Kitchener, Paris is included in that kind of thing, right? And then 5 must be from one out of area location. So 5 must be at a distance location. A lot of times people will ask me, well, is that distance location somewhere that I have to focus on? And the answer is no. So I had a distance location on mine that wasn't somewhere that I focused on. So for instance, if Carrie were to choose her distance location as Oakville, that doesn't mean that her focus always has to be 3 out of area classes in Oakville. She can travel to the US, she can travel wherever, as long as she has 3 out of area classes. It doesn't matter where they are. We'll talk about that in 2 seconds. So if you want to participate in the one starting in January, your application is due by January 7th. January, how it works is January is your preparation month. January is your month where you're booking your trips, you're booking your classes, you're prepping everything. And then after that, it goes February, March, April, and I believe it's till May. Then they have June again, qualification month. June is going to be your qualification, your preparation. July is your prep month. Has to be, all your applications have to be in by July. And then you start August, September, October, November. So 4 months. That makes sense? And I'm going to show you in a second how to break this down. And you know what? Like, there are exceptions. So for instance, Hunter, if you were to be interested in the next 6 months in doing something like Diamond Club, there are exceptions. So Hunter, you live in a small town, right? Sometimes it's really hard to have 5 people within your local area when towns are so much further away. And so they are more apt to allow exceptions in those cases. So there's lots of things. If you don't meet the exceptions, talk to your Diamond upline, your closest Diamond upline, and we can for sure, there's lots of things that can be done. Just depends on how many applicants there are, which is obvious, right? Just to see how many people are involved. Okay, so what are the requirements? So you need 18 enrollments per month. Don't here just yet, but it's 18 enrollments per month, 10 the first month because it's your first month. You're just getting started.
I have one without chocolate chips.
Somebody's just unmuted. Do you mind just muting yourself?
I had to add chocolate to other ones that were a little bit smaller.
Oh, yeah?
Because I didn't have enough to make another whole one.
Right.
But I had a good chunk of batter that I wasn't going to waste. So I put it on top of 2
Should have just made a little smaller.
other ones.
I got it. Okay, so it's 18 enrollments per month, and this is 18 enrollments anywhere on your downline. So if I were to, this is not personal enrollments. So if I were to go and teach a class, Hunter is in my downline, right? I were to go teach a class, Hunter and 10 people enroll at that class. We enroll them through the Diamond Club portal. That counts towards my 18 enrollments for the month. You will find throughout Diamond Club that your personal enrollments are a lot higher. So my personal enrollments were often very high. And it's funny because I thought 18 enrollments per month was insane. But on average, I was enrolling between 30 to 60 people per month through our Diamond Club portal. All thanks to Carrie and Sue at the time, who were teaching a shitload of classes. This is where the fun kind of comes in. 70% of them must come from your organization. So 70 of them have to come from people underneath you. 30% of them can come from anywhere else. So if the end of the month rolls around and you're at 16 or 15 enrollments and you want to teach a class, even if you're not in my downline or anywhere in my downline, or you have someone who is on a different team that says, hey, can you come to my class? You can count those enrollments towards your Diamond Club qualifications. Okay, so they're pretty, you'll see this often. There's a lot of people that'll post in groups and stuff like that saying, hey, anyone want a Diamond Club person? Because 30% of their enrollments can come from other people, okay? You are required monthly to teach 3 out-of-area events. You can have a maximum of 6, that's the number, but 3 out-of-area events. And this is any classes in any out-of-area place more than 80 kilometers away from your home. So, hey guys, if you're hopping on, do you mind muting yourselves? It's just distracting to everybody else. So 3 out-of-area events, you can go and teach anywhere. Well, not anywhere. You can teach in Canada and the US, and it counts as Diamond Club. If you want to teach anywhere else abroad, it has to be approved. I didn't teach anywhere else, so I'm not sure what their approval rate is or how that works, because travel can often be more expensive. But 3 out-of-area, so that can be literally 81 kilometers, or that can be 800 kilometers or 8,000 kilometers, right? You can fly from here to California and get portions of your travel reimbursed. And then you need to teach 3 local events, and this is a minimum, okay? So this is anything within your local area, anything within 80 kilometers. Your personal classes, your one-on-ones. What's awesome is that one-on-ones also count as a class. All you would do is register it through the system as a class. And then for an event to qualify as Diamond Club, the host or hostess must be on a minimum of 100 PV LRP the month of the class. So let's say Hannah wants to go and teach in Pennsylvania, right? Her family's from Pennsylvania, but nobody's on LRP. Well, unfortunately, you're more than welcome to go teach a class. You're more than welcome to offer Diamond Club incentives. You're just not going to be reimbursed for those classes and that travel. However, being that we have 2 months before Diamond Club classes and events actually start, you're actually able to enroll them this month. They can set up an LRP the month that you're there. So this is just where it's going to take a little bit more planning, right? Like January is your planning month so that you can say, okay, great. These are the areas I would love to go to Chicago, or I would love to go to Pennsylvania, or I would love to go to North Bay. Who do I know there that I can help get set up with an LRP the month that I can go teach a class? Here's the kicker too, which is kind of nice. If you have a leader who lives in Oakville, placing 100 PV LRP, and you just so happen to want to go and teach a class with a few friends in Oakville, you can also count that. Because as long as there's a person in that area on your team on LRP, it can count as a class. Does that make sense? This is like a little top secret. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say this. So this is how I did it a lot. I had a leader at the time in Pickering who was on a 100 PV LRP, and I would teach classes in that vicinity with other people, not on her team, and they would count because she is on 100 PV LRP. So these are just some requirements. But in all reality, as you are supporting your team and as you're enrolling people, this really becomes easy. The only thing, and I know that there are some of you who build online, the only thing is that these classes have to be in person, okay? Online classes don't count. There's a hug rule. You have to be able to touch or hug the person. You have to meet them face to face for it to count as a Diamond Club enrollment. So that's your only rule. So this is really nice because it kind of, for someone who built my business strictly online, it pushed me really out of my comfort zone to get out there and start talking to people and teaching. And I learned so much in those 4 months about how to teach classes. I forgot that I had this in here. So some rules: you must meet the person face to face. All enrollments will be entered through the Diamond Club portal. And you must keep all receipts from travel. So I believe that the reimbursements are a specific dollar amount per mile. It doesn't necessarily work out to be exactly. If you drive a really miniature car and it's really efficient on gas, you can probably you're going to get more bang for your buck. I drive a big truck. So for me, the mileage isn't necessarily at par, but it's pretty close. Your flights are going to be $350 towards any round trip. So if the trip is more than $350, that's out of pocket. The cool thing is that if you were to, it's actually $350 per leg. So for instance, if you were to travel from here to Edmonton, it's $350, right, per that trip technically. And then if you were to fly from Edmonton to Vancouver, you get another $350, right? So that kind of covers that. So there's a lot of different things. There's some ins and outs to it. That if you were to want to go out west, or you want to go out the west coast of the US, to kind of make it the most beneficial to you, you can kind of do some hopping of cities. So just some options. Gas, flights, trains, boats, everything counts. Pretty cool. Okay, so why would somebody want to participate in Diamond Club, right? People talk crap about it all the time. They love it, but they say, oh my God, it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And honestly, Diamond Club was amazing. I loved it. It was a lot. I taught, over the course of the 4 months that I did Diamond Club, I taught 100 events. We had a massive increase in volume. Our volume more than tripled throughout the course of Diamond Club. But the benefits of Diamond Club are, A, to support leaders that you wouldn't necessarily support. It allows you to grow an out-of-area community. So for somebody like Hunter, I immediately think of you when I think of Diamond Club, because Hunter lives in a small town up north. And it can be hard to travel to places, right? You want to go travel to Toronto to teach a class with some people, we got to pay for it. So Diamond Club is an amazing way to help get some of that paid for. If you're somebody who has dreams of traveling or building a team abroad, but you can't afford to do it on your own. So this is an amazing way to have a portion of that travel paid for, right? So kind of as long as you're teaching classes or teaching a class while you're there and there's orders going through, you can make a trip out of it, right? It's an amazing way to solidify your current rank. And then it's an awesome way to hit a new rank, which I'm going to share with you in 2 seconds. Okay, so what it did for our team. So June, July, August, September. So it was, I believe it was August, September, October, November were the months that we participated in Diamond Club. This is my income, my income chart. And so you'll see we went into Diamond Club as actually we had hit, my mouse doesn't work on the screen, but if you see in June, so 06, we had hit platinum. So we hit platinum in June. And then as you can see, 7, 8, 9, 10, we fell back down to gold. And our gold pay was decent, right? It wasn't horrible. However, it was a bit of a shock, right? We hit platinum. I thought we would stay there. It was more during the summer, a lot of cottagers in Canada. And so we went into Diamond Club with a pretty solid gold, teeny tiny, if even platinum business, right? It was very super weak. And so you can see through Diamond Club, we hit the rank of diamond. So in November, we hit diamond. In December, we solidified diamond. January, we fell back down to platinum. And then we've pretty much solidified, other than the summer, we've pretty much solidified diamond since then. Which is pretty strong, actually, which is quite a shock for a lot of people. The nice thing, too, is that the leaders that I spent the majority of my time with also rank advanced. So it was nice to be able to spend a lot more time with those leaders that I wouldn't have necessarily spent some time with, teaching classes, mentoring, doing a lot of business stuff, and then to see them rank advanced. And it wasn't because of me. Had nothing to do with me. It just had something to do with the fact that they were actually being supported. They were being mentored properly. It allowed me the opportunity to teach, mentor, and learn from leaders that I wouldn't have been able to otherwise. So I actually traveled to Edmonton for a leader who's not even my personal enrollment. She's somebody on Shannon's team, and we did a couple of classes, and it was a bit of a slower. I talk about it often. We actually had one person show up to a class. We taught, I think, 5 classes, and small town, right? It's hard. But I was able to spend a little bit more time with her and give her a little bit more one-on-one time that I wouldn't have necessarily had to do, right? My mom came with me. We had a really fun time, and it was a crazy, crazy experience. But we had a lot of fun with it. So Diamond Club is something that you can actually have a lot of fun with. You can take your kiddos with you. Like, it's all up to you what you want to do. But it just gives you the option to go to places that you wouldn't necessarily have gone to. So now what? I will take you guys through kind of some things that, in my opinion, are worthwhile in Diamond Club. But if you meet the qualifications, you would go to doterradiamondclub.com. You would create a login, and you would apply. And you will get ready for one of the best journeys of your life. But I wanted to walk you guys through let me just stop sharing this for 2 seconds. I just about thought I wasn't recording. I was going to cry. Let me just pull a little something up. Super prepped I am. Okay, do I have you guys there? But I lost you. I did for a few seconds. Okay. One moment, please. the absolute best parts of Diamond Club, and something that's new this past 2 years, is if you are a finalist, so if you're a top 30 winner in Diamond Club, you win a sourcing trip with Emily Wright and the Canadian executive team. So that for me is one of the best experiences of my entire life. So I just wanted to take you guys through a few photos. For those of you who don't know me, you're watching this recording, you have no idea who I am, you don't follow me, you would never have seen these photos. And so I wanted to just give you a bit of a glimpse into what Diamond Club was amazing, and I did not compete to win this trip. I just so happened to, I actually finished 6th place and won this trip, full expenses paid, trip to Vancouver to visit the Arbor Vitae forests and see the distillation process. So this for me was one of the most epic experiences of my life. But still to this day, so I was just in Vancouver, I was just up north with the Canadian Diamonds and got to hang out with Emily. And the relationship that I have with Emily now is unlike anybody. I'm sure I can actually say this. I can sit and have a conversation with her like we're besties. Because of the time that I spent away with her. So we were together for 4 days straight. We saw each other at our best. We saw each other at our worst. She made you write goals and do things that I probably wouldn't have done otherwise. So just being able to hang out, this was the crew of us, all with the Arbor Vitae wood, the tree, just doing things that I wouldn't have done and not having the opportunity to do things that I wouldn't have done otherwise. Got your own little bottle of Arbor Vitae that you got to bottle yourself. So this is one of the coolest experiences of my life. And this is something that you guys can participate in and win as a part of this Diamond Club. Super cheesy photos. But just being able to be in a room with people who get it, right? Who just really participate in a program that you did that was really freaking hard at times, and loved every second of it. So that's my number one. Now I want to show you guys, for those of you who have no freaking clue how to do this, I want to show you how to pull up your information. So for those of you who are sitting here thinking, oh, frig, I have no clue if I can participate in Diamond Club. I don't know if I have people that are out of town, people who are in town, whatever. I'll share this with you and give you a glimpse into how you can do this. So you're going to head up to Team. You're going to click on Detailed Genealogy. And I'm going to, whoops. Okay, don't look at that for 2 seconds. I want name. Oh, I have got to keep name. Nope, I can take that off. Okay, 1 sec. I'm gonna stop sharing this for 2 seconds because there's confidential information here. I don't think about this stuff. Okay, let me just close some of these things. Member ID, name, email. Address, city, state. Okay. So, not sure if you guys knew about this. I don't know if I can zoom this in. Can you guys see that decently? Kind of? Somewhat? How do I? No, I can't zoom in any further. Do you? Zoom in. Oh, I can. Okay. So I'm not sure if you guys have ever used this. So this is the Detailed Genealogy tab in your back office. You go to Team, it would be Detailed Genealogy along the side. I'm obsessed with this. I to be honest with you, never used it. And so I love how detailed genealogy works. The best part about detailed genealogy is it's able to give you really quick info, really quick tidbits in one go. So you'll see there's a lot of records on mine. Yours probably won't be as large. However, so it'll be a little bit easier to understand. But I just want to give you a kind of glimpse into how this all works. So the nice part about detailed genealogy, and I've taken out some information just based off of confidentiality. You guys kind of saw some of it, but I trust y'all that you're not going to do anything with the information you saw. So for me, typically I would have name in there. So you would click the things that you want and you would add or remove them from the columns. The things that you want right there in front of your face are going to be city, state, next LRP date, and kind of like a glimpse at their last few orders of LRP, as well as their name and email, okay, because that's the best way to get in contact with them. So you would add or remove them from there. You would update report. And it's going to pull everybody. They're in no particular order. There's no method to this madness at all. However, it's your downline, right? And so you're going to be able to see who in your downline can qualify you for whatever you want them to qualify you for. Just a few fun things that I'm not sure if you guys ever knew. If you were to click on enroller ID, so you click right here, that automatically sorts things, just an FYI. So that'll automatically sort all the people you've enrolled. So then you'd find your ID and you can pull up information based on who you've enrolled, which is kind of nice, especially when you have names and emails in there and you want to send out emails to those people you've enrolled. That's all there. But the same thing goes for city or state. So for instance, if I were to hit on city, pulling them backwards. Okay, so I were to hit on city, it auto populates them in alphabetical order. The best thing ever. So how you're going to do this is you're going to go through and you're going to say, okay, great. I live in Kitchener. Okay, and Kitchener doesn't show up. So I live in Kitchener. Wow, how many people can I find? Is there 5 people that live in Kitchener that are on 100 PV LRP? So I would go through and I literally will just select any 5. Typically I would choose 5 that I know place 100 PV LRP. So I'd choose my leaders, right? But you'd go through, you'd see, okay, great. They process their, shows here. I'll just show you here. There you go. So next LRP date. So I'd be like, okay, great. What the frig? Hold on. I'm missing next LRP PV. This is one thing I'm missing. Okay, now an update. I was missing something. Okay, so I'm gonna go through. Okay, so Baden, great. So this person, awesome. One person can qualify me. She places an LRP on the 9th of December and it's 209.50. Awesome. Boom. Write her ID and her name down. That's someone who's going to qualify you for Diamond Club. Same goes for distance. So for me, Barrie would be a distance. So I'd look through and I'd say, okay, great. Are there 5 people in Barrie that are placing a 100 PV LRP? Awesome. Their name and their ID. You don't need to reach out to them. You don't need to do anything. All you really need to look at is the fact that, okay, great, they are placing a 100 PV LRP. So you're saying, okay, I've got a smaller organization that people are on LRP that maybe they only place a 20 PV LRP. What do I do, right? Hannah and I just went through this the other day. We were walking through some numbers and some stuff, and there were a few people that she knew right off the bat that maybe had canceled their LRP. So what we did is we went through and say, okay, great, Baden, I really want Baden to be my focus area. This person here, whoever this is, okay, so they have an LRP on the 17th. It's only at 32. So I'm going to take their email down. I'm going to send them an email, and I'm going to explain to them, this is what I'm doing. I'm participating in this awesome program that allows me to support my community a little bit better. Would you be willing to up your LRP to 100 PV? I would love to show you some things that I think you really need. I'd love to get you set up with maybe some gifts for the holidays. And as a thank you, I will gift you, boom, right? And in some cases, some of you won't have to do this. Some of you have the 5 people, no problem, whereas others are going to be pushing it a little bit. And that's fine. Because at the end of the day, these people don't have to be the places that you're going to focus your time. So if my focus area was Barrie, my out of town area is Barrie, I could focus on building a team in Chicago or my team in Cincinnati, right? It doesn't mean that I need to spend all my time in Barrie. It's just going to be your area that helps you qualify. So I kind of give you a little glimpse into kind of some ways and you can look at things. So this will show everything. You can kind of look at, the fun part is that when your team gets a bit larger, you can say, oh my gosh, I didn't know I had that many people in Brampton. Maybe Brampton can be one of my areas or whatever, right? You can kind of play around and look at things like that. So, hi guys. Do you guys have any questions around Diamond Club? Turn that off. So lots of jotting happening. Nothing?
So if you have a contact that is enrolled but not on your team in another area, you can then use them as your, like you can do a class with them in their area and use them as your 30%.
Yeah, I think you can only be I think the rule is you're only reimbursed for people in your downline.
Okay.
You can teach a class with somebody that's not in your downline and give them the benefits and whatever, but you can't use that as you can't be reimbursed for a class that's not your downline.
Okay.
Yeah, so like when I went to Edmonton, for instance, because I was like, let's fill my time with all the enrollments, I offered to teach a class for somebody who wasn't in my downline, and I taught a class with her. She got the incentives, the class counted, but I wasn't reimbursed for that class. It's because I had a class that was happening in my downline with somebody else there, that was able to give me the reimbursement for the class. Yeah, there are some ins and outs.
Brittany,
Yeah.
if you don't make the 18 enrollments for the month, do you get kicked out of Diamond Club?
Yeah, and it's not like an official kick out. Like it's not like they're like, oh, they announce it, so-and-so hasn't made it. You just, you'll get an email just saying you haven't had enough enrollments. You can't continue on. However, the 18 enrollments is easy. So if you teach, like if you were to think about it, for instance, Carrie and I, we taught a class one night and we had 12 enrollments at one class, right? Not every class is going to be like that. That was our own personal enrollments. Whereas if you were to be teaching a class and supporting your leaders in building their businesses, and they have all these people coming out to classes, teach 3 classes, and chances are you've got your 18 enrollments, right? Because it's not personal enrollment, so it's a little bit easier. But yes, they will kick you out. Oh my god, little Evie. She kills me. She's so damn cute. Oh, please. She's the best. So funny.
Okay, she might scream, but I have a question. So, let's say you go and teach a class with somebody in your downline. Would you enroll people under them, but the enrollments still count because they're on your downline?
Yeah, so what happens is you would enroll them through, you get this, basically you got to log into this Diamond Club portal. And you enroll everybody through this Diamond Club portal with, hey, Jack, with the person who, like, you write the person's ID in there, whoever their enrollment goes through, they get the enrollment, but you get the Diamond Club, basically get the Diamond Club enrollment. So they make the commissions, everything's as normal as if you were to go teach a class with them and help them. They still make their 20% and whatever. It's just, it gives you, basically goes in towards your Diamond Club qualification thing. So everything's the same, the exact same, except you enroll everyone. So at the end of the class, if you go and teach a class with Katrina, you take all of the forms, you enroll them all for her, but under her ID, and then they get their incentives sent to them right away. So it's not like that like doTERRA doesn't send you a stockpile of grapefruit to give out at classes. Each month, the Diamond Club incentive is different, and every enrollment that goes through this Diamond Club portal will automatically be sent with their Diamond Club enrollment thing. So whether it's like 1 month it's grapefruit, and then if you were to upgrade your order to 400 PV, it's balance and grapefruit. 1 month is deep blue, 1 month is citrus bliss, spearmint, like they kind of swap it out. But yeah, not like, it's not a huge enrollment incentive, but it's definitely something for people, right? That you don't have to pay for, which is kind of nice.
Don't the enrollments have to be entered within so many?
Yeah, so within 3 days of the class. Yeah, but I actually didn't.
For them to make up their mind is what it is.
Yeah, I didn't often have people actually even send it within 3 days. I just, it has to be in tonight.
Yeah.
Alrighty. You guys good? Okay. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, Brittany. That was awesome.
Bye, guys.